dozen of eggs.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to CCTV. I am Nick Barone, reporting to you from the blank, lifeless room Bronner keeps me locked in for streams. And for some reason, tonight he decided that I get to host this shindig. But before he hits me with the nerve gas for going too far off the rails, let's go ahead and have each and every one of our lovely guests introduce themselves and tell us how Bronner managed to pull them into his orbit. Was it a bear trap? Was it tranquilizers? Was it emotional manipulation? Let's find out. Starting with a fellow captive of whom Bronner is quick to claim ownership, the magnificent Buttercup.
Oh.
I can't even. He's only admitted on live streams on several occasions that I have been human trafficked. I never signed a contract. I was voluntold. So he
Wow.
A contract means you have some say in the matter.
Exactly.
That's not even.
You have
Even
no say.
indentured servants get to sign a contract. That is impressive.
So I am happy to report. I am very happy to be involved by being the trivia hostess, and also, I guess, human trafficked on a regular basis at this point.
I think it was
Fair
the
enough.
trivia that did it in. Like that first
It was.
episode sold it. He's never letting you go.
Ever.
I can't get fired and I can't get canceled, and that makes me very happy.
There you go.
Hey, that's a way to live. Those are words to live by for sure.
Right? I'm not getting canceled.
I probably will.
All right. Well, speaking of, next up, we have a lovely and talented person whose Stockholm syndrome ran so deep that she ended up romancing her captor. Give it up for Ray.
I really feel like we fell into that emotional manipulation thing because that relentless just hammering over and over again. I had to give in. I had to.
The heavy petting.
By a
It
thing.
works. It works. And lastly, the man himself, our benevolent captor, the one, the only Bronner.
Hi.
Did you want some music for that?
We should have had a
That would
theme
be
song
great.
going. We should
Hi,
have.
Mom. Hey, Nerdburger.
You should have theme
Welcome
music.
to the stream. We should have theme music.
He does
right?
need his own.
That would be
theme
good.
music. Like sometimes I feel like I'm only here so that I can carry the stereo behind him.
We just
That's a
need.
fact.
We need to like work around the copyrights so we don't get like a strike against the channel or anything. But we can
need
do it.
somebody to like that.
We can do it.
Musician, his own score. That's what he's
Yes.
gonna have.
I deserve my own score.
Oh, here we go.
I mean, that's
After the tragic life I've led.
That is a bold
But-
claim. Oh no.
Prior to getting into this stream, I think the wonderful Bronner has something to say to someone in the chat
Oh,
about a certain
go grab
something.
it.
this is
Go grab
a
it.
this is a curveball. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Mom, hi. Thank you for that wonderful package that you got and the wonderful hours that you spent in crafting such a magical, wonderful, probably among the most favorite things I have in my collection. She folded
Oh, that is so cool.
that's fantastic.
that, right? Isn't
That
that
is-
amazing?
That is absolutely amazing. I love those things so much.
I'm
Like they
telling
make
you,
my
man.
heart so
Melted
happy.
my heart,
being
man. It
artisan.
melted my heart.
Man, that melts my heart too, to the point where I feel like slightly guilty about like kind of implying that you're a human trafficker.
You know what? I wear that badge proudly.
There
Let's
we
just
go.
say that. I mean, I've had almost a decade of wonderful, Stockholm-y type love making with my beautiful bride. so it's well worth it. I mean, if you can
Fake
do
till
it,
you
do
make
it.
it.
Do we need to leave you two alone at this point?
I know. Are we like gonna
I
like
mean, are we
hop into
invading?
OnlyFans? Like, is it OnlyFans time?
Do we
I'm
need to
just
go?
saying. I'm just
We need
saying.
to cut this one a little short.
If
Well,
you
with
can
that
do it,
being
do
said,
it. Human trafficking for life. No.
All
just
right.
kidding.
Well, Believe it or not, human trafficking is not the actual topic of our show for tonight. Instead,
nor do we promote it at all.
no, we don't. We are very much against it. But instead, we will be discussing a completely different topic that is near and dear to my heart. For some, it was their first foray into creativity. For others, it was the beginning of a lifelong hobby that would consume their time and wreak havoc on their wallets. I am, of course, talking about toys. The PG kind of toys, not those other kind of toys. That's a different show. Same channel, different show.
Friday night at 10:30.
That's the show after dark called Dings with Kinks. But you can watch it right here.
Yeah, if that's what you're into, you should 1000% support that. Wonderful people doing their practices.
Anyway, continue.
Anyway, tonight we're going to be discussing some of the toys that shaped our childhoods as we take a trip down memory lane and indulge in our own nostalgia. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive in. And let's start with the basics. What was your favorite childhood toy? And let's start with Buttercup.
Okay, so listen. I was raised not poor, like we had money, but I was raised humble. So I didn't get toys. I played in the woods. I played with sticks. I played with, beating the crap out of my brother, all that stuff. It was great times, good times. However, clearly, Lisa Frank, the stationery, had a major impact in my entire life. A lot of glitter and a lot of cheetah print, rainbow colored Unikitties.
No, I don't see it.
Unikitty was a thing before Unikitty was a thing, y'all. And
yeah, you got to explain that one. I have no idea what that is.
You don't know what Lisa Frank is?
No, I don't.
Oh, ask your girlfriend. Ask her. She probably knows.
Ask her why.
She won't know either.
Every little girl's thing was Lisa Frank. This is Lisa Frank.
I'd never even heard of it.
Oh,
I haven't either.
Heard of it. Look,
stickers.
Look,
Google it. Just Google
like the stationery.
No.
So I mean, I've got lots.
She had like Hallmark?
Popples. I love Popples. Mm-hmm. I love everything rainbow and glitter and fun stuff. And then I really did turn like Sid from Toy Story a couple later in my years,
so
and I was blowing up Barbies and G.I. Joes with, that's when I found out Barbies were amazing, but so were G.I. Joes, and so was firecrackers. I mean,
we have a G.I. Joe right here for reference. This is Snake Eyes, the only one that's worth anything.
Luckily, that one hasn't had a firecracker attached to his back.
And he never will.
I did turn into a bad kid.
It's really
hold on, though.
It's horrible.
Popples sounds familiar.
Popples were the fur babies that basically turned inside out.
You can make like balls and things.
And then you opened them up and it was like a teddy bear. And
oh my god, I had one of those as a kid.
Had a Popple?
I did. Yeah, I think it was like a basketball, and you'd open it up, and it kind of looked like your colored hair.
They boy Popples.
We have a basketball Popple. It's actually Rachel's dad's.
Sprite dot. It's the Sprite dot, and you turn it inside out, and it's a basketball.
That is fantastic.
That is so cool.
That is awesome. You do have a Popples, Rainbow Bright, and also Rainbow. Like everything that was colorful way back when clearly sculpted who I am today.
That makes sense. A lot of sense.
I just don't see the connection.
I still got my Rainbow Bright. That she's like the big Rainbow Bright. I could go get her out of the closet. Like lemon meringue, Sprite, like all of them. I've got them all.
7-Up, not Sprite.
My bad.
Sprite was Rainbow Bright's little friend.
No, my mom was.
Yeah, the dot was the 7-Up dot.
It was
No one really relates to
I'm talking
7-Up
Rainbow
anymore.
Bright Sprite.
I remember
7-Up. 7-Up.
Do they still make it?
I don't know.
Is it? Because I haven't seen it. I remember it from like the 90s. I would see it all the time.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they do.
A little crazy with your Legos.
All right, we're getting off topic. Maybe it's an episode in the future. Sodas, where did they go?
Cool. So, who wants to go next? Favorite toy growing up? Ray, hit us with it.
Me. I don't have a favorite. I think my favorite was whichever one I was playing with.
Okay. What's one that you really liked?
So same boat, except we weren't exactly humble. We were po. So we
I
didn't
didn't
get a
know we
lot,
were humble. I thought we were poor.
but my parents tried. So like I look back and I look at some of the toys that I did have, and I'm like, all right, I can see they tried, you know. Um, some of my favorites were just like random stuff. I what was that thing called? I had the picture because I thought I was going to need pictures, but it's a car. It's a toy car, and it. Where's the
Was
car?
it like a
Where's the
Chucky
freaking
doll?
car?
I
No, it's
mean,
like a Fisher Price toy.
Yeah, it's the Fisher Price toy car.
Was it a
and
Chucky
it's-
doll? Did it come to life and like run
yeah,
over
did
your
it like
family?
like Carrie? I was thinking more like, oh no, what's the other Christine?
I
was
had a
thinking more
picture of
Christine.
It's called a convertible or something.
No, it's not the convertible. Where'd the picture go that I had?
I don't know.
But anywho, so it's like a drag car, and the fin on the back it comes out, and it was like your
The wrench.
and you could take the wheels off, you could take the shell off.
I'm a little jealous right now. Like
I liked weird
where
toys.
was
I'll send
this
you a
in my
Pretty dope
picture
toy.
childhood?
because I
That
do
sounds
have the
fancy.
picture.
Right?
I cannot find it.
It's pretty dope.
And then that little telephone you used to drag around, and it's got the eyes.
We've all
Mhm.
had that one.
I wasn't big on Barbie. My Barbie phase was really like small.
My Barbie
Mm.
face was blowing them up.
But I was like kind of a con girl, so I was totally down for the G.I. Joes and the Ninja Turtles. Yeah. I
My
had like
turtles
half
beat the
girly
crap
phases
out of my
and
Barbies,
half.
and then GI
Very
Joe followed 'em up.
tomboyish.
I mean,
That's
I
okay.
wonder. I wonder if there is any correlation between females, female nerds, and the toys that they played with. Like, did they play with Ninja Turtles as they were younger? You know what I mean? What shaped them into, the nerds they are today?
well, if you're
Is
asking
there
that
like
kind
Yeah.
of question, I play more with dolls now at 41. I create dollhouse items. That is what I
Do.
do. I play with dolls more at 41 than I ever did as a kid. Ever. I
Okay.
didn't play with dolls as a kid, but now I love to play with dolls.
That's cool. And I love that you said that because I think that's like, there's like this stigma, especially the older you get. And I remember feeling it as a kid, like, you shouldn't be playing with toys anymore. That's like something that babies do.
I
But like,
make toys.
yeah.
Right?
Look around.
Right?
Now I'm like smarter and more creative and I can do better things with my toys. Like, you're going to tell me that I can't play with toys just
Right?
because I'm older?
Nah.
Like, screw that. Yeah, I agree.
This is going to be a horrible picture, and it's missing the fin on the back, but I don't know if you can see that.
So was it big
Oh,
enough for
that
you
looks
to
familiar.
ride?
It was like this
No.
big. You couldn't ride it.
Oh, it was little.
Yeah.
It was a toy car.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
And it makes sense now because I like to play with cars.
I like to play with cars too.
I like to play with cars that would transform into robots, but it's not my turn. We'll get to that. Okay, next up, Bronner, favorite toy.
All right, so this is going way back, and you have to understand that I'm a different generation than the rest of these cats. So my favorite toy was the Evil Knievel stunt cycle, and it had basically where you put the stunt cycle, which was Evil Knievel, on his cycle, and you put him up on his little wind-up perch, and then you pulled the little thing, and you would zoom in and hit stuff and rolled. It was the most incredible thing you could possibly imagine. Everyone was like super jealous of this toy. Not everyone got one, but if you had one,
You were like talk of the
king.
block.
You were king. And I remained king from that day forward.
That reminds me of like Hot Wheels and the tracks that you built, and then you
Oh,
Yes.
not
That's
even
what I was
Hot
thinking
Wheels.
of, like the ramps and all that.
Yes. I
Yeah,
used to do that
yeah.
in my living room.
Not even Hot Wheels, but Tyco, the ones that you actually had the trigger and
Yes.
had the little
Oh,
track with the mag or the electricity that ran
Hey,
through the cars.
did you ever go to like
Yes.
there used to be actual places where you could go to race those
Yeah,
cars.
what did they call that?
What did they
called
call
it
those?
something
'Cause
racing.
I went to a bunch of those.
So it was not soap
So,
racing.
Not soap.
Buttercup.
No,
Oh
it
my
wasn't
God.
soapbox. It was not soapbox.
Yeah, you'd have like the little
The
remote
electric
control,
cars.
right?
It was
Yeah,
the
yeah,
little
yeah.
electric cars.
Tycho made them.
Hey, Buttercup, word on the street is that you and John still play with Hot Wheels.
I mean,
That's
word on the
awesome.
street is probably very, very valid.
But yeah, Evil Knievel, if you look it up, yeah.
Gossip is
Except
not
for
always
mine
hot.
didn't have a rubbery vinyl suit. Mine actually had a fabric suit. I'm really old, Nerdburger.
Didn't he have a cape too?
Yeah,
But
Had
you
a
know what?
cape.
I remember
Edna in
seeing
the
it.
it was
Incredibles,
like half
no
a cape.
capes.
That is awesome.
It was like a half a cape, but yeah. And you're right. He didn't actually have like a body inside his suit. He had just like the wire skeleton. So
They said
beneath
money.
beneath
Like
his
Yeah.
costume,
gold
You,
as
he
you
was
gotta
a-
cut
he was
costs
a-
somewhere. You
he
gotta
was
do
a,
it.
he was a T2, but underneath his costuming, he was
I
a
know what
T2.
I'm getting you for your birthday.
Oh my god, I would
That
die.
way you can stay king.
I would die. I literally would die.
Well, you gotta stay king. You can't die.
Yeah,
Yeah, don't do that.
I voted against
Then
that.
you-
Okay, so
Yeah,
it was
seconded.
actually
well, then Ray will take the throne. It's fine if that's what you so choose.
it was actually
I
a
do have
tie
tiara.
because there was a die cast Batmobile that was black and red. That was from the old, show that was
Of
from
course there was.
68 or 69 or 66. I don't remember. But I'm telling you, it was incredible. And it was die cast, so the hood and the doors open and the hood popped up, but it really didn't do much of anything else. It didn't hold any action figures. I mean, it was kind of boring in that case, but I took that shit everywhere.
Yeah. I feel you. Like, there's something to be said about those toys that were like really cool and interactive, and like you could do things with them, and like they'd go down ramps. They were electronic. They had like bells and whistles and all that. But there's also something to be said about just the simplicity of like, here's an action figure, like here's a car, and now you
I
make
love
it
them.
do the things. You know?
It's
Like,
your imagination.
My brother's Power Ranger
Yeah.
action figures. Like, I'd rather play with those than my own Barbies. You know
Yes,
my
well, that's
Barbies?
because
Oh my
Power
God.
Rangers are better than Barbies. I mean, let's just be real.
I chewed on their shoes, the Barbies.
Barbie,
know
There's
why.
people that did that.
Like
Why do
gum.
people do that?
People
I
do
don't
that.
know. Look, we'll ask Miko what the psychological issue is there.
You're a feet lover, and you didn't
Barb-
even
I'm
know
Barbie-
it.
not. No, I hate feet. I
She
hate
hates
Oh,
feet.
no.
She's
Maybe that's
matching
why
up
now.
feet.
Maybe you created
Right?
your own trauma.
Yeah.
saying.
probably it's Barbie.
That's okay. You know what? That's refreshing to hear in a climate where like people who are into like the feet things are just like becoming so much more vocal than they used to be. It is good to hear that some people keep it in check.
Do it on them.
Yeah.
You know what? If you like it, great. Do
Right.
No,
it
I'm
immediately.
shaming them a little bit.
No,
Don't rub your toes
no,
at me.
no, Sade.
Who's
Just
Gene? Like I have Rock'em Sock'em Robots. It's in my closet.
That's
in
my
kids'
mom,
room right
Buttercup.
now.
do you
I
have
have
the
it.
OG or do you have like the reprint?
I have the reprint. It is the reprint. But I also, on
It's
PlayStation
not even
1,
it's not
I'm
even a
gamer
quarter
too.
of the size.
No, well,
No.
listen. On PlayStation 1 was actually a Rock'em Sock'em Robots video game, and I loved the crap out of that game. I played that game probably until the disc burnt out. It was amazing. That game was just as hard as the plastic Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
You know what
Y'all wanna
else
see
I
something
like?
I just found?
always blue. I was always blue.
Ooh, Stretch Armstrong.
Oh yeah, Stretch Armstrong.
Yeah, I
And
would not
a
recommend
California raisin.
writing it.
The Hardee's
California Raisin.
California Raisin.
I would get those, like we would go to the dollar store and there was always like a bin full of California raisins and you could like sift through them and pick the one you wanted.
That's
Really?
not the same as having the actual Hardee's collection of 6 of them.
Wow.
The
I
whole
mean,
collection.
you're right. That's correct.
Hey, and they're copyright. Let me see. I'm too old. I don't even know if I can see the copyright on the bottom.
So
of this, but
speaking of Stretch Armstrong, I mean, who among you that
1988.
had this Mother Hubbard actually had one and actually did bad things?
What's that?
I mean,
Wait,
not that
We're
way.
not-
Qualify that statement, sir. Qualify. Do you mean like stretch it too far and break it, or
No, I'm talking about
things we're
torture
not
it.
supposed to talk about?
Like,
Clarify.
I was totally
We're not
curious.
getting
as to-
canceled. There's
That far to
clarification.
stretch.
Yeah, like stretch them across the street and wait for a car to come by.
Oh
No, but I mean,
no!
I really wanted to see what was inside of it, but
Well,
there was this little guy named.
I
Hamburger
never
kid.
heard of that guy till I was like older.
There
Like
was
that
a-
was
there was
one
a-
out of my league. I was
Right.
not there for that one.
Hey,
There was
Sean.
a kid named Robbie Mihal that had one, and I was
Mhm.
jealous, right? But I'm like, well, what's inside of it? Let's find out. And yeah, I had
No.
some surgery.
Dude,
Yeah.
that kills me because I had him and I had like his villain, which was some like mutant warlord thing that was like I think red and had like a silver helmet or something. I could be misremembering, but anyway, I became too aware at a young age that like if you stretch it too far, he will break. And so I was like very tame with my Stretch Armstrong. I barely stretched him because I was terrified that he'd get a tear in
That
him
he
and
was
like the
gonna break
beans
the
would fall
toy.
out.
Aww.
Well, to Sean's point,
That's
if you
what
did
made you
bad
think.
things to your toys as a kid, you're probably doing bad things to your toys as an adult.
Well, see, that's I totally turned into a Sid later on in my life, like Sid from Toy Story. I did. Like
I can imagine you being
I was
like
using
yeah.
the
Sid.
magnifiers like to burn them up and stuff. But then when like the movie came out, I'm like, oh god,
Cuckoo.
Oh, that's me. And they make him seem like such a monster, and
I
you're just like,
know!
I'm the
I was just
monster.
exploring. I wasn't like doing the evil laugh. I mean,
But
maybe I
what
was.
about,
I don't remember. But
like the simple interactive toys, like Simon Says.
Oh, that was
The
great.
round,
Oh
I had
yeah.
that.
old one, the OG, the black one with
Big
just
totally had
four
black
that.
colors.
conker.
It's
Yeah.
like this is it bigger than your head.
Yep, I had
And
that.
it was like that thick.
I
It
was good at
big.
that.
Mm.
I think that's why I was still good at rhythm games. Like I slayed it. Yeah.
Oh
My-
yeah.
The game in my
Bop
day
it.
was
Boom, boom, boom,
Hungry
boom.
Hungry Hippos.
Oh, Bop It.
Yeah.
Bop It.
Bop it, pull
So-
it.
I got my brother a
Crank it.
Spider-Man Bop It for
Oh
Christmas.
yeah, you did.
That's
I
cool.
found one. There was a Spider-Man Bop It, and I got it for him for Christmas.
That's awesome.
Is Bop it still like a thing? Because I know like some toys like they continue to just make them generation afterwards.
It's
They
like
do
a
that with
hula
Bop
hoop.
it.
Yeah, we got it. Did we get it at $5?
No, Walmart.
Like
Walmart.
hula hoops are non-generational. It's just that hula
Yep.
hoops are forever.
I could not do it.
Slinkies.
I don't
hula
remember
hoop.
having a hula hoop, but I do remember every hula hoop I ever tried. I can't do it.
Oh God, I got into this thing when I was like 30, and I actually could do like hula hoop tricks. I couldn't when I was a kid. I would have broken my
Yeah, no.
neck, but I could actually
Jump
like
rope.
I could flip through a hula hoop at this point in time of my life.
Now I could
And
jump rope
I
like a
just
mofo.
admitted that publicly. I'm sorry.
Right?
I'll never
My,
do it again.
My favorite type of toy as a kid is one of those that they actually still continue to make, and they've made them for like all of my childhood all the way through, which was Transformers. But specifically because I was like, I was born in '86, and so I was really like a '90s kid because when you're 4, like you don't really. I have some memories from when I was 4, but not a lot of them. So during my heyday, it was all about Beast Wars. And like, so if you don't know what Beast Wars are, they're Transformers that transform into animals. And I have one right here. This is my favorite one. This is Cheetor. He is a robot that becomes a cheetah.
Do y'all remember? Oh gosh. Oh, I can't remember. Oh,
Transform it. Transform the cheetah.
I'm gonna do it. I'm trying. I will
It was
attempt to do
another
this
one. It was
without
another
instructions.
knockoff from Transformers. I actually have a poster.
Is it
not-
GoBots?
GoBots! GoBots!
Yeah,
GoBots.
those are the Transformers that parents that didn't love their kids got for them.
Well, I had a lot of GoBots in my life. Thanks.
Poor Sean.
Sorry, Sean.
Nerdburger says Cheetor and his gut gun.
Yeah, he's got a gut gun. So this is the gut gun right here. This thing, like, if you squeeze in on this and put it in water and then you, like, release it as a kid, which is hard to do because you're a kid and you're impatient and you don't have, like, an attention span. But you can pull it out. Yeah, and then, like, you spray and You could technically spray water. I didn't fill it with water, so sorry about that. Should have done that.
Yeah, you should have planned ahead. You should have done
I
better.
really should have.
Mom says light bright. I don't remember having a light
I
bright.
remember light brights.
I don't think I had one.
Oh my gosh, I have a current light bright, and this one
I
is
remember
actually
light bright.
updated for Luna. Me and her love it. It's got like 8 different functions. It blinks, it strobes. Like you cannot give this light bright to a kid that is epileptic. Epileptic. There's no way. No, don't.
Was there a
because
disclaimer on the box?
there should be. There really should. There really
You
should.
look, but there should be.
What about
Yeah.
games?
So look,
like,
Nick's breaking out the cool toys, right? See, I want to see something cool.
I'm
I got.
trying.
It's
yeah,
just
yeah,
toys.
yeah. Let's see it.
I got a Gizmo Furby.
Oh, the Furbies.
I had
I-
a Furby. He
Me
was
and John
I-
put batteries in them a couple
back,
months, a
they're
couple weeks
creepy.
ago, and he talked and talked and talked, and I was like, "Okay, we're done here."
Did
I
he?
totally forgot how obnoxious. Me and John were so excited to find this said Furby. I was like, "Look what I found!" He's like, "Oh my god!" And we turned him on, and we're like, "Okay, we're done."
Okay, we're done.
Did
We
he?
have
Did he
children. We
start
don't need
leaking
Furbies
government
anymore.
secrets? Do you remember that controversy? Like
Yes.
back in the 90s, like there were Furbies like that were apparently Furbies had some sort of recording technology where they could, to a degree, sort of parrot back, but in like Furby language, some things that they overheard.
Yeah.
And so there was this whole controversy, like, don't keep them near like top secret meetings because they'll record things and then they can say it back. It was
Yeah.
a whole ordeal.
You know what? That kind of
Yeah.
reminds me of why government people shouldn't have TikTok on their phone.
Yeah, that's a
I'm
good
sorry.
idea.
I
I'm
remember
so
that.
sorry
Mom.
that just happened.
The Tamagotchi.
There we go. I did
There
it.
you go.
The
There's the
Tamagotchi.
tutor.
With
You
no
did do it.
instructions. I think this should
With
qualify
Teddy
me for like
Ruxpin,
free admission to
yes.
MIT. Okay,
How
I
about-
did it with no
how about-
instruction.
King of the Transformers.
King of the Transformers, Optimus Prime.
Optimus Prime. You are
Yeah.
Optimus
Optimus
Prime.
Prime.
Teddy
Yeah, well-
Ruxpin.
Teddy Ruxpin was
Teddy
amazing.
Ruxpin.
I was I never owned one. I owned a
remember him.
bingo bear. I don't know if anybody knows what that is, but that's another one of those. If your parents didn't love you, that's what you got.
It's like those
Never
really
Teddy
Wow.
bad
Ruxpin. So,
those
but
really
no.
bad plastic Barbies from the 99-cent store.
Then there's that.
Yeah,
My daughter
Sean,
has a bunch
you
of
have to
those,
have a
but
Yeah.
I still love her.
her name. She's Burbie, not quite Barbie, like Barbie
Yeah,
with
they're
an
like
E.
Sheilas. It's
I
not even.
rem-
It's not
Barbie
even
with a
close.
Y.
It's a Sheila.
Her eyes are a little too far spaced apart.
her hair was really stringy. She looked like she was cancer. She had cancer.
No, it was plastic. Her hair was hard plastic.
Man, I really didn't think we were going to get canceled on the
She
toy
got
show, but
one.
here we are.
Listen, going back to Teddy Ruxpin, I used to have my sister's Teddy Ruxpin, and I used to take out the little story tapes that they had, and I would put in AC/DC's Highway to Hell.
Yes.
Just to see what it would do.
Oh,
what
I
it would
love
mimic.
that.
Do you remember it was just like the random mouth when
Right.
you didn't know what
That's
to say?
such a
it was the random
Bronner thing
mouth.
to do.
Oh my God. If you're, you know what? Chat, if you're here and you have a Teddy Ruxpin and you can do this and then like dress it up in like heavy metal attire, like put like
Make
a
it Metal
power
Bear.
wig
I'm
on
sure
it.
I could make,
Yeah.
like, no,
A
we
mullet.
Build a
A
bear. I'm
mullet
sure.
wig.
Leather jacket all day long.
Please do that. If you send us a picture, can we give them like if somebody does this, can we just give them a free con ticket? Like,
Right. Like,
hell, I'll pay for it. That'll be great.
I don't remember Mask, Sean.
that's the green guy, right?
No, Mask was a cartoon.
I know,
Yeah.
but the mask,
M-
but then they
It
turned
was-
M.A.S.K. Yeah.
An acronym for something, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, and I have no idea what it stood for, and I did not
Wait,
have those
here's
toys.
Nerd's got it. Cartoon. It was a cartoon by Dick, the company that made Inspector Gadget.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
it's
I remember
Inspector
that.
Gadget was amazing.
I loved me some Inspector Gadget.
I did too.
Inspector Gadget was
That's like who I
amazing.
wanted to be
All
when I
right.
grew
Inspector
up.
Gadget needed to blow up.
So what about like collectibles?
Collectibles.
Wait.
Okay.
I want to talk about board games.
No, no games. We're talking toys.
True.
Toys
We could talk
board
about. We should
games.
talk about board games in a different one. We
Okay,
really
fine.
We have
should.
a part 2.
We should do a board game one. Yeah.
Wait a minute. We did.
We had a show,
Mhm.
but that was last season.
I will say. Okay, so you're talking about
I just saw a
collectibles.
brainstorm happen. That was amazing.
Oh my
I'm gonna
God,
go
what did
first
you
on
just have?
collectibles because I was so into Star Wars toys and I needed to have all of them. I had to have all of them, and because I needed to have all of them, I learned so many things about so many obscure characters from the Star Wars canon that like nobody needs to know anything about. Like nobody needs to know who Nien Nunb is, but I do. He was Lando's co-pilot in the Millennium Falcon in Return of the Jedi. No one needs to know who Moma Nadon is, but he was Hammerhead. He was a random dude who sat in the cantina, and there was like one shot of him. It was just so cool. But my favorite of all was Boba Fett. I mean, you gotta love the Fett.
Yes.
Boba was the man. I feel like they kind of did him a little dirty in his TV show, but
Fun
Boba Fett's
fact,
awesome.
do you guys remember Micro Machines?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so Micro Machines has a Star Wars thing. I still have.
I know.
I own all of them still in the packages.
Oh.
I own all of them, but out of their packages because.
Oh, well, I got one set that the package fell apart, but I do have. Trust me, when I purged, I found a lot of the cool crap that I had. I was like, "Oh, this is such a happy day."
And you're the real winner because like if you kept your toys in the packages, you are sitting on a nice little nest egg because so many of those things are worth a ton of money.
Shut your mouth.
No, I mean, they really are. Like, they're out of production. Like, think about that. This is a product that exists that some people are really invested in and they want, and it can't be made again.
Massive popularity, too.
Do you also remember the little gold Micro Machines? Like, that was a few years into.
Yeah.
Like,
they
you
had
to save
gold
your
series.
UPCs. You had to pay the shipping and handling, and you had to send all that mess in, and you got the gold little micro machines in exchange.
Yep.
I have like 7 of those.
Wow.
Right on.
Buttercup's loaded. She's rich.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Or we're gonna go.
She just likes toys,
Oh my God,
and she's
sitting on a gold mine.
I had
Sea
the like
Monkey's really
the
a toy.
star. I remember sea monkeys from all the times they died because we were children and me and my sister had no idea how to care for
Were
are they
even
brine
alive,
shrimp or
Were
whatever.
they just flakes that floated around? I don't think they were alive.
They were alive.
They are alive, but like in order to see them, you have to like look through some sort of like magnifying glass or whatever.
They get big.
And
then
then
actually do them correctly, they will get about a 1/4 inch big.
No.
Well, I didn't do them correctly.
Everybody, I mean, they're freeze dried when you receive these said.
What about that the crystals that you put like in the water and you made towers out of them?
Too.
Ooh, the sand one that
Those were badass.
God, we love toys.
Made like little fantasy villages with them or something.
Sea monkeys are ruined for me from that South Park episode about like content that we won't describe here. But hey, if you're interested, look up sea monkeys and South Park.
Yeah, it's a little interesting. So I got one word for you guys.
One word? What is it?
What?
Pogs.
Pogs.
Oh my, I love Pogs. I love them. Oh my God, I love them so much.
That was my collector thing. Me and my brother.
collected this shit out of them. And the what was the main one called?
The Slammer.
The Slammer. Yeah.
I had so many kick-ass Slammers.
Right?
I totally. Oh God, I love you so much for saying that. I do.
My favorite, I had a Slammer of the Green Ranger from Power Rangers, and I love that thing because the Green Ranger is the best Power Ranger.
Yes.
If you don't agree, then you can fight me on it.
I hated
Green Ranger was so cool.
Nick, we're gonna take it out back, okay?
You didn't like the Green Ranger?
Who's your favorite?
Any of them. Power Rangers suck.
What do you mean?
No.
Yeah.
No.
What?
Pretty much.
Boo.
I'm voting you off the island.
I shouldn't say this because I'm technically hosting and I guess you're my guest, but that's an L take. No.
You are not the Survivor winner.
I'm voting a friend.
I'm sure you do, Sean.
For honor.
We're not talking about the cutest Ranger.
Look, Power Rangers was a fantastic show. They do like dance fighting, and then they jump in robots that combine and become Voltron Megazord. Like,
Voltron was
So
amazing.
good.
It's like you've got Transformers and ninjas all in one.
Yes, and even nowadays, like, okay, so you look back on the show, right, and it was campy as hell, but it's so much fun to watch because of how bad those fights
was,
are, especially
They're
like the
awful.
Zords versus
They're not
the
even awful,
monsters.
some.
Capcom or Viacom?
It was terrible.
It was
can't remember.
Bandai.
Bandai.
Yeah.
I don't know why I
And
was thinking.
Saban or some crap. I don't know.
Saban, yes.
Bondage.
I
No.
see the text, John. Talk about the new Power Ranger trailer. I don't even want to.
Yeah, Netflix is doing a nostalgia kick. They're doing like they're bringing back the
Yes.
original Blue
John, we
Ranger,
can talk
Billy,
about the Power
and
Ranger
Zach, the
trailer.
Black Ranger. And then they're bringing back some of the ones, like some of them aren't the first generation. They're like
It's not
they were
that
like
we're
second
oh my
gen.
God, y'all are gonna start drama. Y'all are starting like
Mhm. Yeah.
teenage drama. Stop
Because
it
the
over
Power
here.
Ranger toys, the action figures, were some of my favorites.
I
They
got
were so
nothing.
cool.
Yes.
Mm-mm.
So you didn't just
Me
get
and Broader are both
the,
like
the action figure of the Power Ranger. There were some of the Zords. There was all of it.
Yes.
Broader. Is it because we're old?
I just remember watching Power Rangers with my kids and going, "What the hell is this silly shit?"
Me
But
too.
Yeah.
but the problem is I watched like Giant Robot in when I was young,
Right.
which was like the predecessor to Power Rangers. So I don't know why I don't like it. It was just so like over the top crap.
I know why you don't like it because you didn't see it when you were a kid. Like straight up,
Probably.
look,
So
if you watch the
But I
original
did.
Power Rangers movie as an adult, that
No, no,
shit's
no. So
terrible.
listen, Linda.
It's so bad.
Horrible.
Listen, Linda.
So let
I
me
watched
just
it as a child and hated it, and watched it as an adult and still hated it. And
John, we're
even
not
like
ignoring
so,
you.
even my children that inherited Power Ranger movies because I refused to buy them, they magically disappeared from my home.
Oh, what a coinky dink. You tell them that my house is a safe space. Okay?
Safe
She's
space for
she's
what?
21 and
Power
at ECU.
Rangers.
You
No,
can send
it's
a
not.
message. It's fine.
I will blow them all up. And Batman would eat them for his.
I will take your damn leg.
My Smurf would probably beat the crap out
Wait,
of your Power Ranger.
You're gonna tell me Batman who doesn't kill would engage in cannibalism?
Yes.
I don't know.
He would eat the foot.
I don't know about
or
that
something.
take. Mm-mm.
He would eat the foot. He would leave him maimed. He wouldn't
There.
kill him.
magically.
There's a bear.
Magically disappear.
Power Rangers have like a dear spot in my heart because it was like the first toy I actually had to save up money to buy. It was the White Ranger Zord, the Tiger Zord.
Yeah.
And like it was at the time, I think it was like $20, which back in the 90s was kind of expensive. So I had to like really save every dollar I got and like do chores around the house, try to get as much as I could.
I didn't get
Oh my
Tiger
God.
Zord was cool.
Do you want to know the first thing I saved money for? Y'all are gonna crack up. An MC Hammer tape.
Yes.
That is the first thing
I
I
guess my
saved
stamp
money
of
for.
approval.
Do
Can't
I?
The-
touch this.
The Reverend MC Hammer, right?
There.
Yes.
The Reverend.
Legos. That'd be
That
just
is the
standard.
first
Of
thing I
course,
saved money for,
Legos.
MC Hammer tape.
We've
Legos
got to
is
talk
way
about Legos.
Amazing.
Oh gosh, my kids have all like I'm gonna say 85% of my childhood Legos. And so like when they're bringing this stuff out, it's the basic Legos. It's not the cool crap they have
No,
now.
your basic
And they're
blocks.
like, what do we do with this? And I'm like, build something.
Put
Yeah,
some shit
make
together.
things. Come
Yeah,
on.
build something. So my kids really did make some cool shit out of my old Legos. But
Oh,
then adding the new generation of Legos with all the extra cool little parts that are, the
That you wish
extras
you had. Like
that
Yeah.
you
round
wish
pieces.
you had as a kid.
Mhm.
They were making even cooler stuff and then even cooler stuff. But so a family I know, their son is absolutely 100% addicted to Legos. They literally bought him the $700 Titanic Lego set. He is 9 years old and has completed that thing.
Hold on.
I know.
All right,
Can't
I'm
even
gonna
fathom
raise objection to that. They bought their child a $700 set of the Titanic.
That's not me. That's not me.
They could buy the Death Star. They could
Or
buy like
the
Oh, he's already
Batmobile.
done all that. No.
yeah.
He's passed all that.
The Batmobile is $500.
He's passed all that. That's what
Why-
I said.
Why do you want a replica of like an old ship that failed?
Dude, I've watched this kid put it
The
together over the last
Titanic.
month, and it's been amazing.
Wow.
He's 9, and he's
It's-
straight
That's
up.
pretty
It is
cool,
7
though.
different boxes
Sean, you
of
got some
Legos.
competition.
Does he? Okay, but he has to get like a little Lego Leonardo DiCaprio and
that
Kate
would-
Winslet
Oh,
and like
I'm
put them
doing that
on
for
there.
him. I'm doing
Yeah.
that. I'm gonna do it. I'm doing
Oh,
that.
and
You
make
could
like
probably
the
3D print them.
And they need to
Yeah.
be like
We're
arms.
doing that for him, y'all.
Oh, you see, Ray, I applaud you for thinking about something wholesome. I was thinking you do the death scene where, like, there's definitely enough
The
room for both
door,
of
the
them to fit on the
water.
door, but only she's on it and he dies unnecessarily.
There's plenty of room on that door for 2.
Yeah, oh, there totally was. And it physics-wise, it would have actually made more sense to, like, balance out the weight, but
Right.
we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about
He's
toys.
9, Sean.
That's pretty freaking impressive.
That is awesome. I mean, that is very
he's already
cool.
passed the Death Star. He's passed. There's an aquarium he's made. There is
Damn.
an actual Van Gogh. What's it called?
The Starry
Night.
Night.
There's a Starry Night Lego.
Mhm.
There's a Lego Starry Night. Done. He's done it. Like, this kid's awesome.
And all of those are cool and probably more impressive than what I'm going to say. But the coolest new Lego I have seen is you can build an actual transforming Lego Optimus Prime. It's like $150
I need
for the
to
set.
look at his
Shut
shelves.
up.
It may be done.
Yeah.
It may be done. I can't even tell you all the stuff. He's got bookshelves of his Lego adventures.
cool.
that he's-
And if
yeah.
it happens to disappear and end up in a box and get sent to my address, then, you know,
Then
it's
so
I'll
be
put it
it.
in the chat.
that's
you
just
know.
what happens, you know?
That's really not
That's
a
just
bad
life.
price for that.
Yeah, that's what
You know
Sean
what
said.
though? But I remember the basic primary colored Legos
Sounds
and,
Red, blue,
and,
yellow.
and
I
building
could use
shit
somebody else to
and-
the Eiffel Tower.
and getting
Legos are
pissed
cool.
off at Legos because they didn't have like their platforms were all like the dots, all over the platform, right? So
8-bit.
when you drove your
Let's go
Hot
8-bit.
Wheel into the garage and house you just made, it went digga 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 digga.
Yep.
Okay,
I always
You're
made
right.
a house.
I'm telling you, I always made a house.
They
with that
did.
shit.
To address the problem you're talking about, I remember they started making the platforms with, like, if it was supposed to be a road, they'd have this cutaway section that was just
I had
flat with
those.
road on it,
We
and
had
then
those.
you
Oh,
could
yeah,
just
those
drive
at
it
my house.
over.
I got
Oh,
the
wow.
basics. But
I had
Yeah.
the cheap version.
if
I'm
we're
not
talking
cheap, but
about building stuff,
I did too.
we had Lincoln Logs.
I just literally got rid of a set like 2 weeks ago because I was like, I'm done. I
Because
don't.
if you
need
built
to-
a house with Legos, you built a cabin with Lincoln Logs.
oh hell yeah!
I am 41 years old. I no longer need to own Lincoln Logs.
Lincoln
I still
Logs
own
were
my
cool.
Legos.
Hey, that was Legos. Really Legos.
I liked Lincoln Logs. What about
Yeah.
erector sets?
I
Oh,
did, but I didn't. You couldn't be. You could not be near as creative
No.
with them
No,
because you got like 3 in a set.
But
you built
they,
a cabin.
3
but
made
they
the
were
cabin.
amazing to make like a ranch or a farm with, and house your animals,
And they were
or play
sturdy, for
cowboys and
sure.
Indians with. I mean, that's the way I use Lincoln Logs, is with my cowboys and Indians.
And
Now,
you
with my
had to
army
make your
men,
parents go to the
but-
dollar store and at least get you a pack of plastic animals.
Dollar
don't
stores
remember those,
didn't
John.
exist when I was a kid.
John says, "What about Brio wooden trains?" And I don't remember those.
I don't
think I
remember
had
that
a
I
either.
don't
Brio
remember
wooden
those
train
either.
whistle.
It was all Thomas,
I
but
think
I didn't.
I had
a
I
wooden
didn't
train
have the
whistle.
courtesy of Thomas. We were poor.
I remember
We were
Thomas.
humble.
I remember, I had some Thomas stuff, but then Thomas
was
had a bunch of, like,
cool.
he had like a bunch of fail sons in his family that were
remember
like,
those.
Yeah.
here's like Green Thomas, and he's Thomas's friend named like Dave or some crap.
Percy! Percy!
I don't know.
Percy.
Sure.
My kids
Percy
love
was the green one.
Thomas.
Thomas
I
was
am.
a
I'm
money
kind of like a
maker.
Thomas fan as I am a Power Rangers fan. Not so much. However, I do support my children, and I know the Rangers, and I know the trains.
Yeah, Thomas was fine, but JJ the jet plane was creepy. If you ever saw
Yes.
that, it's
It
like
was
yeah,
creepy.
Very creepy.
super
He was
creepy.
creepy on that.
Yeah.
His eyes
agree
were
with
just
that.
buggy and creepy.
Do y'all remember
So-
Smurfs at all?
I do. I collected all
I
of
remember
them.
Smurfs.
I
So
used to
listen,
go to
I
the
wasn't
Hallmark
into
store
them.
once a week. I went to the Hallmark store once a
No,
week.
but I'm this big. And so people used to call me Smurf in high school. And I'm like, y'all ain't funny. I ain't
Okay,
blue.
so that was more important than my story.
That's I mean uh-oh. Oh no.
Do you want me to
Content
get him?
fight. Duke it out.
You want me to get him? Actually, you know what, Nick? Neither one of them like Power Rangers. Let them duke it out themselves.
Yeah, you know what?
No, we're
Implode.
gonna
This
go
one out.
today. We're gonna
Let your
lock arms and
alliance
go
fall
today.
apart,
We
you
ain't
know?
making nothing.
You don't understand. The Green Ranger was so cool because he was so
Yes.
edgy. He
Look
was
at
like an
his little
anti-hero.
whistle.
Yeah, he played a dagger flute, okay? He was super
Oh,
cool
coach
with
tonight,
his dagger
Your
flute.
Honor.
And he summoned Mecha Godzilla, okay?
Right?
You don't get it. You don't get it, Mom.
Come on,
That
Mom
was
and
the
Dad.
entirety of an action scene in the Power Rangers. I just did it.
Thank
I
you,
was
Bear.
so lost.
Yes.
Thank you for having my back.
The robots versus monster fights were very underwhelming, but some of the like dance fights were actually kind of
They
cool.
were. But this is the very same person that likes Godzilla.
You
That
forgot-
movie sucked too.
Hey, Big Bear.
Yeah.
The fight
The
scenes
toys
were
were
not
cool
that great.
though.
The fight scenes were not that great.
Godzilla
Wow.
toys,
They weren't.
bomb.
I gotta ask, and I don't. Bronner, I think you're gonna be disqualified on this one just based on era. Pokemon. Were you into it?
And I couldn't.
I'm into more Pokemon now
Right.
than I
Back
was when I was a
then,
kid.
it was very fleeting. And so, like, I watched the original. I watched the movie, the first movie.
Sucked. I fell asleep.
Shut up. Nobody was talking to you. I did enjoy it.
Damn.
But it didn't, like, I wasn't obsessed with
Clip that.
Toys, the topic that divides us.
it. Baby
Um,
Bear's going to be at Con.
What?
It's official. Baby Bear will be at Con.
That's fantastic.
I was into the Pokemon. I was.
See, but I
Okay,
like
so
now.
listen, wait. Okay, listen, Linda. So
Lucario for life.
I was
Yeah,
introduced
Lucario.
into D&D at a very young age from my brother and his friends, but they did a very good job of killing me off very quickly because I didn't know what was going on. I'm like 5. So I hated D&D. However, I did get into Magic way before I got into Pokemon.
I still don't like
I
it.
feel
I
that.
love Magic too.
Yeah, well, I'm out of it now. I was for a hot minute into Magic. I had some good cards. I had a good deck. I was knowing what I was doing. I couldn't do it now. It's about like Pinochle. I used to be into Pinochle hardcore with my family, but now if you were to lay down a Pinochle deck, I wouldn't know what to do with it.
Oh, Bear, I love Abra. Togepi is
I
my
did.
favorite. Togepi.
Oh,
Or Psyduck.
Which
Togepi.
one's the little gray guy? Okay, wait. No, my daughter was
Machop?
favorite
Geodude.
one. Do what?
Which gray
You said
guy?
little gray
Felix.
guy.
No,
I'm
okay,
like,
Pokemon.
Yeah.
It was like an
Onyx.
Umbreon.
No, that's a big.
Was it Umbreon?
Umbreon? Oh, Umbreon's like
Black.
an evolution of Eevee. It's black and it has
a
like
gray and
yellow
black with
rings
yellow
around its
tail.
ears.
With big old, he looked like a fox.
Kinda. Yeah, that's you're kind of describing Umbreon. Yeah, it was like
Okay,
black,
that was
but it had
that's the
some
only one I
yellow.
know because that's my
Let me
daughter's
look
favorite.
my
It was all about
Umbreon.
some Umbreon.
Umbreon was cool.
That's how.
Yes.
That's how.
I have a
big I am on
shiny.
Pokemon.
That his
Down for
daughter is obsessed with Eevee.
Luna.
All evolutions. Yes.
All Eevee all the time.
My one of my so I had Pokemon cards and I had Pokemon toys and I had the Pokemon games and I played all that. I got into it hook, line, and sinker. Well, I wasn't like my friends got into it first, and that's some Pokemon Go. That's Umbreon right there.
Yeah.
That won't.
It's a
focus.
little hard
Really
to see,
crappy,
but
I
won't
think it's right.
focus.
I think that's the right one.
But
It's like
But
how
I
you
ended
got
up
glasses and your phone won't focus.
so like the holy grail of Pokemon cards back in the day was first edition Charizard.
Yeah.
And I had like all of them but Charizard, and I managed to lovingly nudge, otherwise dupe, a friend into trading me theirs. Like I gave him so many other cards, but they were all pretty common and regular. And I got a first edition Charizard, which was like huge. Back in the day, it was worth like $100, and I have no idea how much it's worth now. Did anybody else have like a really cool collector's item toy that was probably worth a little
Wait.
fortune?
Beanie
Hatching
Babies.
an egg.
Beanie
Yeah.
Babies. Beanie
Beanie Babies
getting
are
Beanie Babies.
surprisingly not worth that much money.
They're not
They
worth a damn
plummeted.
thing now. But
Yeah.
I'm saying
And then they're
at
gone.
the time when
At
they
the
were
time, they
hot,
were.
they were
Crazy.
hot.
There was
I
$10,000
never got
Beanie
into that
Babies.
game, but I just remember the craze over it. Like Beanie Babies was a thing.
It was a thing.
It was crazy.
Yes,
They
They
Beanie
were
Babies are
everywhere,
There
super
was
too.
cool.
such a craze over Beanie Babies.
I have one or something. Don't I have
What
a
else was there?
Batman one?
Like I know
No, it was a
currently,
Hallmark
like
one,
okay,
not a Beanie Baby.
so Beanie Babies was about as bad as the oh, what were the shaped
a
rubber bands?
Shundo?
The
It is a Shundo. I love that you know that. Yes. I have a Shundo Gyarados. Sorry. He was the original shiny Pokemon. And then I also have a Shundo of Zekrom, which is some like Gen
I
5
love
dragon thing.
Zekrom's my favorite.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's my favorite. He's my favorite of the
I'm out of this one, y'all.
legendary.
There he is.
Okay.
He's got
In
a
the flesh.
I'm supposed to be getting my code for Bear, but I mean, if we're doing this, we're doing this.
we Pokemon raid every Wednesday night. We're
Blood Forge.
dorks.
Oh my
So-
god. I do too.
This is my shiny Alakazam.
Never got into it.
Focus.
You know what I just caught yesterday? I caught
Mhm.
a shadow. What was it, baby?
A shiny shadow.
Mega Knight,
Yeah.
right?
Magnemite?
Yes.
Yeah,
You know what I
that's
got
Magnemite.
awesome.
yesterday? I'm just
It's
kidding.
a
like gold.
shiny shadow.
Gold and angry. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
And I only have two shadow shinies.
Hi, Kurt. Bloodforge
Right on.
is
What's
here.
up? How you doing, Bloodforge? Bloodforge Miniatures was a huge Ninja Turtle guy.
Yes. Definitely a turtle.
Dude,
guy.
He was a turtle.
I love Ninja Turtles. Ninja Turtles is one of those ones where like you would get these figures and they're the wackiest things. Like here's like a Triceratops man with a laser gun, but it was so cool and it was so 90s. Like perfect.
We had the ones where like they were crouched down and you would push it and it would jump into
They
a
would jump
backflip.
up and go backwards.
Yes.
Had them.
Ah, I love
Never
it.
even seen them.
They didn't get blown up at my house.
Was it made out of wood? Because that's all I had was wooden
They were
toys.
safe along with the Legos. It was seriously just like the 12-inch Barbies and GI Joes that were strictly like targets between me and my brother to see.
Yeah.
Torture. I
My-
tortured my fair share of GI Joe.
No,
and
wait,
Oh,
Barbie.
okay,
I'm sure
wait.
you have.
So there were all those big plastic like connector things. Like there was Legions of Power. There was another big huge set. I mean, it was like basically like Mega Blocks, but on a extraterrestrial spectrum. I can't, oh my gosh. I can't remember.
No, John, I didn't have those ones. But Kurt probably did.
What ones?
The ones that
Baby
transform
turtles?
from baby turtles into the
Yes.
Ninja Turtles.
I didn't have those.
I had those. I remember. Those were good times. My favorite though, my two favorite Ninja Turtles toys were not Ninja Turtles. They were Casey Jones, who was like the dude with the hockey mask. He was like hardcore vigilante, and Usagi Yojimbo, who was like from a completely different comic series altogether. He was like a samurai bunny. Very cool.
You got a message, Bear.
Okay, so I think I recall one of your questions having to do with fads or collectors or that kind of stuff.
We touched on it, so I didn't bother asking.
My thing is, during my day, there was people that actually, and companies that sold the pet rock, and I bought one.
You got two.
And it was a
would not
fucking
be
rock.
Two.
Had you not said I bought one.
Pet rock was the original NFT, my friend. That's like
Oh
you
my
throw
God.
money at nothing.
Right? I bought one of those. I bought one. And it
That's
came
as
in its
bad as
own
buying
little
a
box.
Slinky. I'm just kidding. It's
Of
worse.
course you did.
It came in
I
its
could-
own little box with like a felt lined box and shit. And I'm like, you gotta be shitting me. I've got better rocks in the front
In the
yard.
yard.
Dude, I could get you one for free if you want.
Right?
Like, I'll get you a whole
Actually,
collection
have
of them,
10
man.
billion
Y'all
I
haven't
have
rocks.
cute ones in the backyard.
I'll
I'll
draw
feed it.
faces on them.
I think
I'll
did
name
have
them
a
for you.
certificate.
Own it.
I think it had a certificate of
Let's do it. We're
authenticity.
gonna open up a shop, BSBN's Pet Rock Shop.
Pet rock.
Cabbage Patch.
There
Kids.
is-
Oh
And we're
my
gonna draw
God.
Cabbage
faces,
Patch
and they're gonna be
Kids.
reminiscent of our faces. So if you want a Bronner rock, it's gonna have like a goatee.
Let me tell you a story about Star Wars action figures.
Uh-oh.
Really quick.
Buttercup's rock.
They're
needs a lot
amazing
of
and
love.
wonderful, and nothing you say, don't say anything bad.
No, I was a huge fan. But
Yeah.
I fucked up. I mean, really bad. Like I took all of
Since
my
when?
and I took all of my Star Wars action figures, right? And after I think it was after I played with them and we were out, we were like making caverns in the dirt and there was trees and they got all filthy dirty, right?
Oh god.
So I
Mhm.
washed them and then I proceeded to put them on a cookie tray
Shut up.
To
and then
dry
I
'em
put
off.
them in the fucking oven to dry them off.
Oh no!
I mean,
God.
there was like 60.
You
of them,
melted
and I figured-
You
Chewbacca.
should be canceled.
That's what you're talking
Right
about
all
right
of
now.
them.
You melted poor Chewbacca,
And you
his
know what
fur bleeding
fu-
together.
The
Canceled.
funny thing about
No.
it is that I was like, oh, I don't want to ruin their little vinyl capes and
Right.
jackets and shit. So
So
I
you
took
see-
off all of that shit. So all I had left
Yeah.
was these little
you
vinyl
totally
cutout
Planned
jackets and
ahead.
shit.
So you have like capes to put on just mounds of plastic.
I got distracted.
That's
Polly
terrible
It
and
was
tragic, but
horrible.
also awesome.
It's not awesome.
I
That's not
did.
awesome,
I
Nick.
So
loved Polly Pocket.
I didn't
Oh
melt
my
my
God.
That was
figures,
probably
but
one of the girliest toys I liked.
Polly Pocket was cool.
And
But
mine was
Mighty
rainbow
Mighty
bright
Max was like
purple.
Polly Pocket for boys.
I didn't get that one.
Polly Pocket
I
was
got the
probably
Polly
better.
Pocket.
Mighty Max was a little, but it was
She
okay.
had a lot more accessories.
My daughter was totally
sure
into
she
Polly
did.
Pocket.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why is this not a choking hazard for adults?
Were
You
you
get a little
like
drunk?
yummy?
I had
She
one that had, like,
looks
a little
It
shell.
looks
delicious.
like
Then she
freaking
was-
candy, right?
They're
You're like,
smaller
oh
than
my
gummy
God.
bears.
Yeah,
Get a
they're also
grip.
mostly like little girls, dude.
Why are you swallowing?
Why did you say that out loud?
Okay,
Don't
there
eat
is.
little girls. I
I'm.
promise.
Oh my god. Okay, before we get canceled, I'm gonna just like change the subject. There is one thing. I'm looking at the time, and before we leave, there is a gray skull size elephant in the room that we have not talked about, and that is, of course, the Masters of the Universe, also known as He-Man, like the
Skeletor.
original
I have
line.
the entire listen.
I don't think
have the
there's much
whole
to talk about if you don't have Chitara.
Skeletor.
No, that
No,
was
there was a set.
Thundercats.
That was
I
the
know.
actual, I guess,
Chitara's
dragon.
better.
I don't remember what it was, but it actually had
Chitara's
all
cool.
the clips, and it had just enough clips for all the enemies. And I
See?
remember me
John
and my
knows.
brother were
John
so
knows.
excited by the time that we could get all of the freaking enemies and fill in that entire dinosaur. And then I think we blew it up.
I wasn't really big into He-Man. It's
I love She-Ra.
But
I
He
absolutely
loved
love
it.
She-Ra.
Bronner loved it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
absolutely love
I
She-Ra.
even loved the Netflix reboot of She-Ra.
I love
thought it was great.
Skeletor and I love
Oh.
She-Ra. He-Man, not so much.
Netflix reboot of She-Ra was great. Also, the Masters of the Universe show on Netflix that was done by Kevin Smith, very fun. I thought it was really good. You have to watch both part 1 and part 2 because like a whole bunch of nerds got butthurt because spoiler alert, it's been out for a long time. But if you don't
Right.
want to hear it, plug your ears. In the first part, they kill off He-Man, but they bring him back. It's completely fine. And nerds were so mad. And so people were saying, like, this is terrible. But then, like, part 2 comes out and it's all fine.
I just
They
have a
basically
question.
said, "Just kidding."
I have a question for
Yeah.
the chat. Hey, nerd, did you work for like a toy company or something? Because you have some of the most like off the wall knowledge that I've
I'm
seen.
gonna
But
like
it's
Toy
bring him in
not
knowledge.
for
just about
trivia.
toys. It's about nerd always comes in for the win. When we can't remember something, nerd is on it.
He's pretty smart. Or
Nerd is on it.
I don't even know who nerd is. Nerd, identify yourself.
I love it, nerd. Yeah, do we know you outside of
Are
like the
you
chat and everything?
outing someone? Don't out someone unless
See,
No,
nerd
if
is
you-
a nerd.
If you
Nerd
want to remain
identifies
anonymous,
as a
that's
nerd.
cool.
I like the anonymous.
Yeah,
just
I'm down for it.
only if it's voluntary.
I think everybody had a crush on Rainbow Bright. She was adorable. I liked her.
I was more strawberry shortcake.
Ooh, she was cute too.
Joe Hot.
All right, so let's talk.
I had a crush on the Russian girl from Captain Planet. Sorry. Just
With the
figured you
red
need to
hair?
know
I
that.
did too. Don't
She
feel
was
bad.
she was a
think I did
blonde.
too.
But
Oh,
yeah.
the blonde. Okay.
Yeah.
She had a horrible
Anyway.
I
accent.
did too.
Yeah, she
Her
did.
accent was cringy.
Well, she was poorly voice acted by what was clearly an American actor trying to do a Russian accent. But at the time, I was a kid and I didn't know any better.
Okay,
I have an
fine. This is not a
honorable
terrible
mention.
accent. It's hot.
I have an
Gotta
honorable
wind
mention.
down.
Honorable mention. Let's get
We'll
it.
do our honorable mentions and then we're gonna raid over. But my honorable mention is glowworms.
Glowworms.
Oh, I remember
Pretty
them.
cool.
Mm-hmm. They were so cute with the glowy faces and the wormy bottom.
They were cool.
It was cute. It's
My
nightlight.
honorable mention will be Micronauts.
Oh, that's a good
That's
one.
very cool and a deep cut.
All
I
right,
like
my
it.
honorable mention is Legions of Power because nobody even recognized the words. It's just Google it. It was a cool thing way back when.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to look it up. I probably know. Like I have to see it.
It's better than Legos.
My honorable mention, which is also a deep cut, is Z-Bots. They were like these little robot people.
I
Yes.
remember.
Yeah. Very cool.
Ooh.
All
At least they
right.
were better than like the off-brand.
All right. So
We need to bring it to a wind.
real quick, just give us concarolina.org. You can get your weekend passes just by clicking on get your passes little icon thingy, and it'll take you right to Eventbrite and you can get your passes. And if you want a discount, throw in BSBN into the comment or into the, what do you call it?
Code section.
Code section, and you will get a discount. So yeah,
You have to come see us.
Con Carolina.
Come see us. Come see all of the BSBM members. We
All
are
the
taking over the main
shenanigans.
stage. So with that
Do
being
it.
said, head over to our Discord to get the calendar for the week because we have lots of good stuff going on. Next week on CCTV, we're going to be having the myth, legend, John Hartness. Don't tell him I said that. He's going to be here and we've got a lot of fun stuff planned for you guys. So who are we rating over to? Anybody this time? Hope. Oh, our favorite Hope. Hopefully soon to be CCTV's Hope. But anywho, they are
Oh.
playing 7 days.
You
Hope
claiming
is
more people,
playing
Bronner?
70.
Y'all can
You know,
always
she's
traffic so many people, y'all.
she's trafficking on the down low for me.
That's how much the Stockholm
Sweet.
syndrome, like I'm doing it for him now. All right, you guys.
All right, that's it for us tonight. Thanks, Nick, for doing a great job hosting.
Tried my best. Look, you put the gun to my head, here I am.
All right, guys.
He didn't
next time.
actually. I'm happy to do it.
Good night.
We'll see you next week.